So I made this cabinet. I call it a fusion of Asian and arts and crafts mission style. It's the lantern cabinet. It's made to resemble both a lantern as well as shoji screens. It's made out of cherry from my favorite supplier in North Carolina, and mulberry paper. Mulberry paper is the paper traditionally used on shoji screens. If you can see the front, you'll see it's double tapered. The double taper is designed to emulate a torii gate, which is an entrance to a holy site in Japan. It was a lot of fun making, and I'll take you along on the process. Hope you enjoy.
Sometimes you just want to challenge yourself with a project, challenging either your art or your craft, either designing a piece that's nearly impossible to build or making something that was almost impossible to make. And in this case, I think the lantern cabinet is one of those pieces that fits that category. I really wanted to break out of any sort of prior stylistic mold, and I'd been reading a great deal lately about the extent that Frank Lloyd Wright was engrossed in Asian art, architecture, and culture. And I really wanted to take that furniture of that period one step further in terms of how it can integrate with some of the elements of Asian style and Asian art. Also, my daughter has recently moved to Japan, and that has put my trip to Japan at this point 40 years ago in the forefront of my mind, and has added those memories to what creativity has been at play. So enjoy the lantern cabinet. I will give some voice narration where I think a particular spot needs clarification, but otherwise ask questions if you have them. With the mortises cut in the leg stock, they can now be tapered, cutting along the marks that were made earlier. With leg stock, we can begin to construct the center panel of each side. The center panel that will hold the Sochi screen inserts is joined to the legs with dominoes.
Overachievers. Whack you down.
I'm not an expert at cutting kukumo. What I did learn through research and watching a lot of YouTube videos was cut them all together, fit them to the piece that you're intending them to go in. So let them all run long and then mark them to fit. And it was a good method. It ended up producing pieces that fit fairly well, as you'll see. The other item I did learn here, color match, make them look good. There's a lot of variation in wood, and take your time and match them. With the side panels and their kukumo inserts made, it's now time to turn our attention to the webs. There's only two, a top one and a bottom one, and this is the larger bottom one that will have a through tenon, and this is the rear one that has just a very small tenon that will slide into one of the legs. The top support web is a little bit different in that instead of mortise and tenon joinery, it will get a traditional dovetail that is then insert into the side pieces, and I'll use the table saw to cut the dovetail. Much like people who have watched my videos before, I use a dovetail cutting table saw blade and a simple sled that produces good results. The front piece of the top and bottom web each get two slots, one for each sliding door. finish sub-assemblies each received one coat of General Finish's Seal Cell and their armor satin. The top web and the lower web are both glued together while in place. They're not being glued into the carcass at this point, but for structures like this, I like to have them included in their final position when I glue them up. Doors were made the same as the outer frame for the sides, and here I'm making certain that the lower door rails align with the sides, so optically if you look at it from the side it will be just the right height. Of course these get Kukumo inserts as well, and the only difference with this batch versus the other batch is the need to make certain that they are exactly the same. So here I am transferring from a finished piece to the new structure. With the Kukumo test fit in their door frames, the doors can be test fit into the cabinet. The sides of the top have a pretty aggressive taper, and the only way to cut that was at the table saw. A router is used to make a running rabbet or slot for a back to fit into. The sliding doors leave no room for front shelf pins, so dovetail legs are fitted to keep the front end of the shelf up. General Finishes is a sand finish, so between coats I got a lot of time on my hands. I glued the mulberry paper down with rice glue, both of which I ordered from a supplier in Japan, and used my large collection of lead weights to hold them down while they dried. Trimming was fairly easy with a sharp razor blade.
From your slumber.
Glue up was as awkward as it looks.
Top. Big Django.
To be a lantern cabinet, it had to have lights. In this case, I'm using a GE LED strip so that I can run custom functions and have it display custom colors. The panels are not permanently affixed, so that they can be removed and repaired if needed. Thanks so much for watching, and good luck on all your projects. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Are you getting all dusty, Django? Have you picked up all the sawdust?